Hey Grizzlies, and welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and today we're doing some homework for tomorrow, okay? And we're doing it together because tomorrow we're going to have Cop Facts, who is Perry Freeman, and the real Gon Gonzo on the show in order to expose the corruption in this case. Okay, so it's very interesting once you start diving into that, and I find it very interesting that there's the same key players as in the Delphi case. I mean, we're seeing the, familiar names, Tobe Lesenby, Nicholas McClelland, Superintendent Doug Carter. I'm just saying, it's obviously, it's in Indiana, so that makes sense. It's just, whoa, I'm looking forward to having them on the show tomorrow. And because they're going to come on and be super impactful, give us the bullet points, exactly what they need us to do, I wanted to sit here with you today and really just talk about the case a little bit so that we're all prepared for tomorrow, okay? I hope that all the members really enjoy the new emojis that I made for you today. Lieutenant Peter Pranzo in the house. Hello, welcome. Thank you to all the mods who can be here. And what I wanted to show you first was this interview with Doug Carter. I hope that you all saw the trailer. If not, don't worry, I'll play it a little later. You guys are probably not used to me just like saying hi right from the beginning, just like hello. But it's because I made the trailer already within the last hour, uploaded it, and then had it here as well. So I just wanted to say hi. So let's have a look at what Superintendent Doug Carter says about this case, the Flora 4. Then I've listed in my description box some videos that I would highly recommend you watch. And there's so many actually, but I've listed ones that I found really impactful as well. And so let's just dive into it. We'll look at the timeline and everything as well. I've already covered this case once. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it? Did you ever see me cover this case? The Flora 4. Put a 1 in the chat if you saw it and a 2 if you did not. And if you did not, would you mind going to watch it, just to do your homework for tomorrow? Support the work I already did on this case. But I'm always happy to talk about the cases again, especially when it's more than 5 years. Still no justice. Still no justice. Okay, mixed reviews. Some of you saw it. Yes. So Leo says, I'm so glad you get this in the spotlight. Yes, saw it. Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay, so for those of you who didn't see it, don't worry. We're going to recap the timeline. In fact, let me first do that, then I'll show you Doug Carter's one. I'll just quickly go here. Stand by, please. There we go. Let's just look at this article. It recaps it quite well. Okay, and let's do this. So, timeline of events. November 21st, 2016, Keone, Keriel, Kiara, and Kiana are killed in a fire at their home in Flora, Indiana. Okay. Then, a day later, the fire is ruled undetermined. January 28, 2017, the state fire marshal says the fire was actually intentionally set. Now, that state fire marshal was Dennis Randall. Okay. May 25th, 2017, the fire is ruled intentional by Homeland Security and a new ISP detective takes over the case. Then June 23rd, 2017, the Carroll County prosecutor asks investigators not to release info, and that was Robert Ives. See, same names as the Delphi case. If you follow the Delphi case, you're going to know all these names, okay? Then, June 26, 2017, a fire investigator with the Indiana State Fire Marshal's Office resigns after questions about the investigation arise. So that's Dennis Randall abruptly resigns. Interesting. And then August 26, 2017, a new reward poster is released. Apparently there's a $5,000 reward, but see, the corruption is all about the community raising an additional $18,000 to $20,000 and what's happened to that money now. So we're going to go over that tomorrow, but I will very possibly show you a press release today already just to prepare you, okay? First live with me. Awesome. Welcome. So if you're just rolling in now, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, become a Grizzly, hit the bell so you get notifications for when I go live. This was a bit of an impromptu live because I really want to just make sure we all know what's happening tomorrow. We will do map time as well. Yes, Sarah, we will do it. So then August 26th, new reward posters released. November 11th, 2017, Carroll County Prosecutor Rob Ives announces he's stepping down. So remember, the fire chief stepped down, then he stepped down. And then January 1st, 2018, the new prosecutor, Nicholas McClellan, takes the post. Now, if you are following me on Patreon, you'll know that I brought that guy's name up before because my red flag is totally pinging all over the place for Nicholas McClellan and Shane Evans, the former mayor and now the deputy prosecutor. Okay, so if you want to know more about that, I have discussed that behind the scenes a little bit more on Patreon. I'll eventually make some videos on it here, but with this, you really have to, there's a lot to uncover here. There's a lot. It's very tangled, and it actually makes me kind of anxious. That's why I'm doing homework with you today, because I'm like, wait, what? Then January 8th, 2018, Todd Trent is named the new fire chief in Flora. So they say what happened remains a secret, you see. The biggest mystery in Flora lies inside the corner house. State investigators have said the fire that killed the girls was arson. But what exactly happened is shrouded in secrecy. A man named Mike Vergon is one of the people who's been inside the house since the fire. He runs his own fire investigation company and was hired by the mom of the 4 girls and her attorney. He's not worked with them for months, but said he still thinks about the house and the case often. Okay, so the point is, November 16th, 2016, there was a house fire, okay? Let me do this so that you can see it here. I didn't play the map time song now, but we're all good, right? Okay. So here's Monon High Bridge, and here's Flora, the Flora area, and where I've got this pin over here is actually where the house is, okay? And so this happened November 21st, 2016, and of course we know Delphi happened February 13th, 2017. So November, December, January, Feb, 3 months later. I did some, the numerology thing just to see how does that look? Because there was the Evansdale murders, which was 12-5-12. Then these murders, which was 11-16-16. And then the Delphi ones, 2-13-17. Very interesting. Very interesting. So if you guys figure anything out with that, let me know. But Monon High Bridge, which is where the Delphi murders occurred just 3 months later, we know this quite well by now if you've covered if you've been following the Delphi case with me, or anywhere really. And of course, still in Indiana, right here is Flora. So the house is on South Division Street and West Columbia Street. So it's this corner house right here. And I will show it to you like this. You can see it's boarded up even here on Google Earth as well. Wow. So this is the house. 4 girls died. Their mother survived. However, I've got some notes here. The mother actually was so injured from trying to save her girls that she was airlifted to the hospital. So, sometimes she gets a little bit of pressure, or a little bit of, as in all cases, which is actually very unfortunate, is like victim blaming or like attacking the family or whatever, because she survived, but she was trying to get in there and save the girls and just couldn't. The girls were between the age of 5 and 11. Okay. By the way, does my lighting look better today? I changed it a little bit. Okay. So this is the house where it happened. And the mother has since moved to California because she just cannot handle the trauma of staying in Flora. Okay. Hello, Syrian Moon. Yeah, so this case remains unsolved to this day. And I think that Carroll County and the Indiana State Police think that we're all going to forget about it, which is why we really shouldn't forget about it, because those 4 girls absolutely deserve justice, as do Abby and Libby, right? Okay. You noticed the difference in the lighting. Yes. You know nothing of this case. Well, faux fauna, I hope you'll check out my first video that I did on this case, where I covered the timeline as well. That's the thing, Timely Manor. She probably wished she died at the time. Horrific to lose family like that. She's very traumatized by all of this. So now what I want to show you is this interview with Doug Carter. Just so we can look at it a little bit, shall we?
Over time now, people are starting to talk to us about that place about that home, about the area around that home, what might have been some of the activities in and around that residence in the days, weeks, and months leading up to the fire.
Sarah asks, did anyone escape the fire? Only the mother. The mother escaped the fire, and they said that there were 2 officers who were on the scene, at the scene. But the thing is, the one officer he was at the fire station, which was only 1.5 blocks away. However, Detective Yoder, who was 10 miles away, was the first one on the scene. So that's interesting as well. There's a lot of red flags in this case that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around as well. There's a lot of corruption and red flags. Okay. So, as I said, Robert Ives was the Carroll County prosecutor. He was a friend of Dennis Randall, who was the state fire marshal, the one who abruptly stepped down when people started asking questions about this case. They also pointed out on another channel, which is True Crime Investigates, that the Carroll County has 20,000 people, population, and only 0.2% of those people that live there are African American. And in the 1920s, this area was actually the predominant area for the KKK. And apparently Dennis Randall, the state fire marshal, he just abruptly stepped down and all of that. And it seems like his wife has got some corruption going on as well. There's a whole lot. I'm telling you, that's why we're sitting here unpacking some of this together at least. Does the prosecutor look like Bridge Guy? Not so much as the former mayor and current deputy prosecutor. Interesting. But then there's also Dennis Randall, the state fire marshal, and his brother, who I believe his name is John. I mean, whoa, wait till you see all of these ones, right? The mother was never a suspect, correct. And I just wanted to quickly, before we carry on with this, let you know that they said that they've never actually identified the accelerant that caused this fire, which is very interesting because they first said this was not foul play. Then they said, they found accelerant all over the property. And that was after initially saying they think the fire started behind a fridge in the kitchen. And they had K9 units come in, they found no accelerant. And then 3 months later, they're like, there was actually an accelerant everywhere. It's very strange. This case is very, very strange. It's equally strange like Delphi. Yeah, Shane Evans, yes, the prosecutor. Red flag for that one. Red flag.
That's all good news because we're learning things that we didn't know before.
Sorry, the reason I want to play you this Doug Carter interview is because he talks exactly the same as in the Delphi case about the Flora case. You might even think, look, it says Superintendent Doug Carter on Flora. You might for a minute think he's talking about Delphi, but he's not. He's talking about Flora. Same language. So it leads one to believe, could these cases be connected? It has been speculated quite widely. Maybe not, but maybe. You just don't know. Maybe this killer started with the arsons, okay? Already starting whoever he's trying to make a statement against. Maybe the killer, who's Bridge Guy, supposedly, right? Because we just don't know. Is there more than one involved? And in this case, there's actually people in the ISP that have spoken up and said, we think there's 2 people involved in this Flora one. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, it's just very interesting to say it could be 2. It sounds exactly the same as Delphi, which is why it's really piqued my interest more than ever before. I've already covered this case once. Please go check it out. But damn, it makes my head spin too. That's the thing, right? Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at this now.
And again, that's coming from what human beings are telling us, and then that gives us an opportunity then to talk to other individuals as time goes on. So I'm pleased with where we are there. We're not in a place where we're going to make an arrest yet, but I believe that we will. The Annapolis Fire Department did a great job for us, a peer review, which is what we do with any major case. And I was very pleased. And they came back with what we had initially thought. And so this was intentionally set. So.
Except they didn't initially come back with that. In fact, they said that Superintendent Doug Carter was extremely worried about a DHS staff member emailing the state fire marshal, Dennis Randall, to tell him to wait to put out the information that this was an intentional arson case. And as I say, this concerned Doug Carter greatly. So for him to say that they did an amazing job. Did they though? I'm not trying to throw shade where it shouldn't be thrown. I'm just saying, did they? Interesting, very interesting. The chief fire marshal and the chief of staff still always have refused to talk about this case. So very interesting.
Again, one of these days, we'll be able to explain those 4 little girls what happened and what we did.
In any case, Flora, Delphi, the community reaching out, the community giving you guys tips or just any kind of information, how key is that to solving the crime?
It's key. It's so key. And you hit on it earlier when you mentioned and talked about it's 45 minutes or 38 minutes, whatever that timeline is in a CSI show on TV. What they don't do very well is explain what happens when good people tell us what they know. And that's an investigative technique and process that has been around since we cohabitated. It's as important today as it was before. Science is always helpful. And normally, as time goes on, it's becoming conclusive, isn't it? Particularly DNA. But there's no better evidence.
They're saying, well, he's saying it's not like CSI where this case can be solved in 45 minutes. Okay, but how about 5.5 years, right? The gut feeling, you see, I will explain at some point, hopefully in this episode, my gut feel. You guys know my gut feel. My red flag is pinging everywhere. It's flying when I look at any interviews that Doug Carter's done. But I now actually think I know why. Okay? But let's just watch the rest of this.
Matter than what human beings saw and can articulate what they saw or what they think and articulate why they think they do what they do, you see. So we have all kinds of opportunity. And just imagine what happens when we all live in peace together on this planet, right? I believe that we can. And we trust one another. We're not like one another. It's hard to hate up close. But when we truly communicate with each other, good things tend to happen, whether it be with a complex homicide, whether it be with intentionally set fire. Good prevails over evil, not the other way around. We can't let that happen.
Well, in this case, unfortunately, evil is prevailing, is it not? Okay, so yeah, those smiles. I know. I know, right? Those smiles. I mean, some people got really annoyed with me, okay? Because I overanalyzed Doug Carter's appearances in all those press conferences in the Delphi case. I was like, this guy. However, he keeps saying in the Delphi case, imagine what the community will think of you. Sorry that the lights, I don't know why the lights going on and off like that. Imagine what the community will think of you. So it cannot be just anyone, according to what he says. Someone that also took trophies, that staged the crime scene. Now we're talking Delphi, right? And he has a similar language when it comes to Flora. So is that how he talks? Or is he talking about someone really powerful that committed the Delphi murders and or possibly committed the Flora murders? That's what piques my interest. And when I looked into the former mayor, Shane Evans, who's now the deputy prosecutor. Ooh, oh man. Imagine if it was someone like that, how Doug Carter would behave. Then a little bit more, it makes sense to me, his body language, His body language is strange, yes, and maybe some people just have strange body language. But the way that he talks and the things that he says, and I'm like, oh, you mean someone like really powerful that you actually can't nail for this. However, you really want to. You know what I mean? Could be. Yes, Ellie, I don't know. Are you on Patreon? Did you see that? I shared a clip with you guys from True Crime Design. Oh, my word. Copfax, welcome to Copfax. Welcome to, if Gonzo is also in the chat, Real Gonzo. Okay, so we see, this is the thing. We're already 20 minutes in, and tomorrow, what I want to do is make sure to welcome Copfax and the Real Gonzo, and for you guys to already have your feathers ruffled and to already know what our mission is, because we're going to have a mission. I can tell you that, okay? We're going to have to be brave Grizzlies, okay? Yeah, so let's just have a look at, I've got a few clips lined up here. I'm not sure exactly in which order they are, but I want to play you some of these clips just so you can get a grip of the case.
small of a community. Some
Mom, the sole survivor in this fire that happened on November 21st, 2016. Okay, and that was a Monday as well, and it was around 3:30 in the morning when this fire happened, just so you know. And I did find the timing quite interesting as well, that it was on a Monday, like Delphi, and it was at 3:30. Okay, sounds like kind of like Delphi, except one is in the AM, one's in the PM, you know what I mean? Maybe that has no meaning to it, but I like to just consider all possibilities. I've been posting justice for Flora everywhere. We really need to get this case into the media spotlight, and there are channels covering it and doing a fantastic job. The problem is that sometimes it's small channels that don't get the views that this case deserves. And I mean, even if I could just get 10% more views just to help spread awareness. If you guys, I know you guys share a lot. So if you could share this to Twitter, if you could share it to Reddit, if you could share it to Facebook, with your friends, just let's try our very best to get this case back into the media spotlight and let's discuss it. I mean, Delphi, channels discuss Delphi left and right all day, all the time, right? This case deserves equal discussion. Okay, just it's so mysterious, so strange to think at 3:30 in the morning this house is suddenly set on fire. Okay, and 4 little girls between the age of 5 and 11 are murdered because of an arsonist. If you think about it, and we don't know exactly what the accelerant was. Someone said earlier an accelerant is easy to detect. Exactly. How weird is it that we still don't know what that accelerant was? Wow. See, this is what we need. Twitter, Facebook, email, CNN, Fox, and ABC. So tomorrow, Copbacks and the Real Gonzo are going to tell us exactly who to call. Fox is definitely a good one. Fox 59, I believe. Call them, email, do what you can. Get this out to the news. The news needs to pick this up. Vinnie Politan from Court TV. Why not? Please. Okay, thank you for sharing. So I'm just going to continue to play this clip, and then I want to show you something that I dug up a little bit on Reddit, which I know Reddit I don't trust Reddit 100%, but sometimes you find some very interesting things there, right? Right? Get that trending. Hashtag Flora4, hashtag Justice for Flora, hashtag Flora Murders as well. Yes, let's do all of that, especially, I think, Twitter and LinkedIn. I know that LinkedIn is a very powerful platform too, because if you search for like the Flora case, then like literally because I put that on LinkedIn, it comes up from there. If you search my name as well, Gisela K, the first thing that pops up is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a very powerful platform as well. I'm on there, if you guys didn't know. Please share it on there as well. I've also shared it on there, so let's do that. Okay, so what I want to show you now, I just want to make sure I close things. I want to show you this. Where is it now? Sorry. Okay. This one? Okay. Who benefited most? Who benefited most? Well, we got to look at motive, right? And I don't know, I might be way off, but to me, money seems like a big motive to me, because if we look at, and I might be wrong, as I say, I'm just speculating for a second. If we look at the Delphi case, I'm just saying, like Shane Evans and the people in charge were very interested in pumping in lots of money to build a community center at Monon High Bridge, to redo the bridge, to really make it a wonderful site, right? So that's interesting, number one. And then they got funding shortly after that. Sorry, there's like a weird little bug here. There we go. I put it under a tissue. Okay. Enjoy that, buggy. And then this as well, interesting that now, if we look at this Flora 4 for immediate release, the money raised by the community is being given to the fire department. I just don't know. It's very odd. It's very odd. So let's just quickly look at this. I'll make myself smaller so you can see real nice. This is from Reddit, okay? So take it with a pinch of salt, but I do want to look at it. Contact information, Flora 4, Reddit community, right? So they say, donated Flora fire reward money given away. Funds diverted to the fire department. Dateline, Flora, Indiana, July 19, 2022. The Flora Fire, an online Reddit community who advocates for justice in the Flora Fire of November 21st, 2016, which claimed the lives of 4 children, has learned that $20,000 in donations made by citizens for a reward fund has been diverted to the fire department and other locals. Yeah, the fire department benefited the most. Yes. As did I'm just saying, in the Delphi case, as did the Monon High Bridge area, you know? So yeah, that's wrong. I'm getting you guys, your feathers better be ruffled for tomorrow, where Copfax and the Real Gon Gonzo are going to tell us more about this, right? And this is what's now come to light recently. It's like, wait, what? So they say, the Flora for Angels Facebook group announced that the $20,000 check would be presented to the local fire department. These funds were donated under the assumption that they would be used as a cash reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the arson. Why do they say that? Because initially, the police, the ISP flyer that gets put out says it's a $5,000 reward. So the community were like, we need to raise more money than that so someone can come forward. Because if you look at the Delphi case, it's like $325,000 reward, right? It's over $325,000. Okay, and they've got a whole, what is it, like a sports center, community play park built as well and all that. So there's been a lot of support for that, of course. And we're not trying to compare the cases like that necessarily. However, of course, this is 4 little girls between the age of 5 and 11 that were murdered by an arsonist, intentional arson, at 3:30 in the morning, November 21st, 2016. So when the community, imagine if we all pulled together, and maybe some of you did donate. Welcome to membership, Allison. I hope you enjoy everything. Please go check the community tab. Last night, we all cycled to the city together, members and patrons, and that was a lot of fun. Okay, meaning I streamed while cycling to the city, showed you guys canals, architecture, and all that. Okay, sorry to digress for a second. So imagine if we all pitched in, raised $20,000. I mean, I was proud just of the money that we all raised for the Gabby Petito Foundation. Now imagine if we find out that this money is actually just being dished out, to the fire department and just whoever else. What? Oh my word. No. These funds were donated under the assumption they would be used as a cash reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the arson. The check will be presented by the Flora Community Club on Thursday, July 21st. That was 2 days ago at 5 o'clock at the Tractor Pool Arena. Flora Fire is an online Reddit community, so go check that out as well, who advocates for justice regarding the Flora arson in Carroll County on November 21st, 2016, which claimed the lives of 4 children, Kiara, Kiana, Cariel, and Keone. Our mission is to raise awareness for the case while advocating for its victims. Now, that's our mission too. Are you getting goosebumps? Because I am. Thank you. How do we say the first name? DGR Dave. Thank you, Dave, for your $4 super sticker. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah. No. Exactly. And from an arson case that killed 4, and from an arson case that killed 4, what are we saying? Yeah, and then it goes to the fire department. You see? Man, if you look at, I don't know, some people have mixed feelings also about True Crime Investigates. I don't. Sometimes I support people that you guys don't really support, which is okay. Each their own, right? We can all choose. But the thing is, True Crime Investigates, whoa, his videos uncovering some of the corruption in Carroll County. Whoa. Like if we look at the state fire marshal, the one that just stepped down all of a sudden, Dennis Randall and his wife. Then we look at his brother, and then we look at his nephew. Then we look at Tobe Lesenby, who worked with Dennis Randall for over 30 years. Tobe Lesenby, remember him? Robert Ives, the Carroll County prosecutor, and all these people. It's like, it reminds me of my airline pilot days, where it's just like, oh, it's like a ring of elites. It's the untouchables, is it? Well, no. I think there's the power in social media. I think there's power in us sharing this information and all of us kind of banding together and being like, wait a minute. Wait till mainstream news actually hears about this, because there hasn't been all that much coverage. There's been a little bit, I find a little bit, but not all that much regarding this Flora case, and especially not lately, Okay. Caroline says, you are absolutely required to be in lockstep with my every view and opinion, or else you are just a bogus person. Some people say that. You can find lots of corruption about Delphi and many other small towns around the world. I know, right, Jenny's child? So much corruption. Exactly, spell it out. CORRUPTION, corruption. Kristen behind the crime door, thank you so much for your $4.99 super sticker. Kristen also covered the case. Well, she covers the case very, very well. and is very passionate about justice for the victims as well. Let me remove this quickly. So please check out her channel too. I want to quickly go here. She actually had Cockbacks and Gonzo, the real Gonzo, recently on her show. So I'm so glad they're going to be on my show too. I just want to show you here. Okay, Kristen behind the crime door. So here, I put it in my description box as well. And Kristen, I have watched your whole episode. This is from a different account now. So you can see I've only watched a little bit. I'm on my second round, okay, of this one. So the Delphi murders, live and evening with Copfax and the Real Gonzo. So these are the guests that are going to be joining me tomorrow. So please go check this out. The Delphi murders, Carroll County is burning Flora alive. So check that out as well. And then if we go here to Copfax, I'm just showing you some of the ones I would love if you would check out. So yeah, we've got Copfax, and then we've got Perry Freeman. Again, this is also my second or third time watching this, so this is not an indication of me not watching it. Copfax over here, please go and subscribe over here as well. Let's show some Grizzly support, because these creators and True Crime Design, True Crime Investigates, and all the others are listed in the description box are extremely passionate about justice for the victim. I just feel very much responsible in having a platform, you know, that has grown to what it is now, to use that platform for things like this. I think it's very important. And I know you Grizzlies, I know you guys are very proactive action takers. So I'm very excited to see you make a dent in the Carroll County universe. You know what I mean? I only found out about Flora from fringe channels that are covering Delphi. That's the thing. That's the sad thing, right? Yeah, it's the rule and not the exception. Heidi says, I love small town. I love small towns, though. Yes. Okay, so what I want to do quickly now is just show you the trailer in case you didn't see it. Just bear with me if you did see it. You could see Perry Freeman, Copfax, talking in the beginning. And at the end and in between, you could just get a little grip again of just, I don't know, the emotions. I try to put a lot of my heart and soul into these trailers I make for you guys, okay?
I want to ask the first question of what happened about 5 years ago? What's an unsolved crime from like 5 years ago? I'm sure a lot of you will say the Delphi, Abby and Libby.
That one day we can tell you what we know. I hope one day I can look into the eyes of the person that killed 4 little girls and then explain to you what we knew and when. But criticize me all you want to. I'm not going to do it today.
I'm angry. They took 4 lives.
Their mother, Galen Rose, still reeling from a fire that killed her 4 girls back in November. A fire investigators believe was intentionally set to recycle into memory benches. A plaque for each girl, including 2 extra for children hurting in a neighboring community, Delphi. These benches were built in memory of Abby Williams and Libby German. Both cases remain unsolved in Carroll County, but with huge efforts like this one, people are stepping up to show the families that they're not alone in their fight for justice.
I'm never going to stop fighting. I'm going to always fight for my babies.
Efforts, the smoke and heat were just too much.
Dysker and I never stopped trying. We went inside, came back out for air, went back in, came back out, each time getting farther and farther inside. I still think about it every day. My hands and stuff, they still remind me of it every day, but I just got to push forward and do what I have to do.
Makes us wonder what's going on in that county, eh?
So if you didn't know, Perry Freeman was a Superior's police chief for 17 years, and he retired from the Colorado Springs Police. Okay, I'll give you a better bio tomorrow. I've interviewed him before on this channel too, so please check that out as well. It's on my playlist, Guests on the Show. We did an extensive interview on his book as well called House Secrets, which is really good as well. So check that out. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are starting to feel the emotions, that many of us feel in this case. And I saw some of your comments as well about True Crime Design. I mean, she's done some phenomenal work on the Flora case as well, and also uncovering some other fires in the area. And one thing I find interesting, about these two cases is how they're linked. Like, as in the communities have, for instance, at the elementary school where the 4 girls went to, they collected a whole bunch of like plastic caps and things, and then melted them down to make benches. But then there were 6 benches, 4 for the girls and 2 for Abby and Libby. So it's like together. And then on that trailer I just showed you as well, the bench there that's got the engraving in is also the 4 girls from the Flora girls. Okay, the Flora 4 and Abby and Libby. So I find it very interesting. Should look at every crime or near crime involving little girls. I know, right? But don't you find it interesting that this is surely not the only crimes or only murders in this entire, in Indiana, in that time frame either, but yet these 6 are paired together. You know what I mean? I just find it very interesting. They were fireproof gloves. Am I missing something? What are we saying? What's up, homie? Glad you're covering this. You are awesome. Thank you so much. What's the connection between the Flora fire and the Delphi murders as far as motive or the perpetrator is concerned? I mean, what other theories? Do we have a theory? I don't often theorize too much. I have I'm just sorry for the distraction. I have a little bug. It's kind of like a flying ant. It's on top of my screen now and it's joining us for the show. So if it flies into my face, just know that I'll be like, okay, ad break time. Matthew said I thought it was more of a KKK thing, right? I don't know. They just, this is speculation and rumor, this one. But they said that Dennis Randall, the former fire marshal, he threw around the N-word a lot and said that the N-word, they don't last long out here and things like that. So someone is benefiting from these cases remaining unsolved. Oh, very interesting as well. Very interesting as well. Yes. So, interesting. So let's look at this as well. Here's another clip.
Not made any arrests in the case. This community is far from giving up hope.
Every year I go out to school for Veterans Day.
November 11th, 2016, 9-year-old Kiara Phillips handed Charles Simpson a gift that means even more now than it did then.
She came up to me and just looked at me and
And so are you, Kristen, behind the crime door. Everybody go check out Kristen's channel, and please check out that stream with Copfax and Gonzo so you also get a good idea of what we're talking about tomorrow.
Smile, I'll never get the smile. Said, I love you, and gave me the card.
10 days later, investigators say someone set fire to Kiara's house, killing her and her 3 sisters, Kiana, Carrielle, and Keone. That handwritten card reads as follows.
On the outside, it says, thank you. You're a veteran, you gave us freedom, and you are brave. You can protecting us and have a happy Veterans Day. Sincerely, Kiara. I love you, from Kiara.
For the
shame. Phone says send Brian Enton. I agree. Let's tag Brian Enton too. Why not? Let's tag Brian Enton in this case. We can have him maybe cover both cases. They're not far apart. 15 miles apart at most, So yeah.
Last year, Charles and his wife Joyce have worked to increase the reward money for information that leads to the arsonist. Right now, she's selling cookbooks that contain some of the girls' favorite recipes.
We lost 4 little girls in our community. And every time you would go by their house and everything, they would be outside playing, waving.
Now that house sits unlivable, charred and boarded up, the center of an investigation that has come under public scrutiny. In October.
And can you imagine how sad it is to see that house like that all the time? It's still like that. The Flora Fire reward is $5,000 and the community raised $20,000 on top of that. Yes, so not only should the reward be more, let's add a 0 to that, am I right? Indiana State Police, hello. But also let's not take the reward that the community raised and just dish it out to the fire department. Let's not do that. How about?
October of this year, the family requested that the NAACP get involved on their behalf.
Nobody's been brought to justice. Nobody is talking to the family to even update them on the status of the investigation.
Less than 3 weeks later, the Carroll County prosecutor and Flora fire chief announced their resignations, raising even more questions.
Thank you for being here and giving me a chance.
In a recent press conference, State Police Superintendent Doug Carter said keeping the family apprised of all case developments could jeopardize its integrity.
Everybody's a suspect until they're not.
He also
He always says that. I know it's true, but you know, the language, wow. They don't want NAACP in Indiana. Know that. Exactly. Now, Woodland Star says, drinking coffee out of my Grizzly mug, got my Copvax house secrets beside, Kristen and Gonzo in the house, Gisela presenting all is well in the world. That sounds awesome. If you could take a picture of you with that Grizzly mug and the Copvax house secrets book, maybe we could show it tomorrow. Send it to me, grizzlytruecrime@gmail.com. That would be amazing. Then we definitely need the NAACP in Indiana, right?
refuted suggestions of a cover-up or that the girl's race is a factor in the case's slow progress.
I hope one day I can look into the eyes of a person that killed 4 little girls and then explain to you what we knew and when. But criticize me all you want to. I'm not going to do it today.
In loving memory of...
Why does he always say that? Remember when he said, I want to look into the eyes of a murderer? I can't remember how we broke that all down with those press conferences. I'm going to look in the eyes of the murderer. Oh, in the Delphi case in year 2, you got to look into the eyes and know what it, and then suddenly tell us what you know, that we don't know what you know, but when are you going to tell us what you know? Tell us what you know. It's been more than 5 years. Oh, my word.
Of all my babies.
Joyce reads a letter inserted in her cookbook submitted by the mother of those girls who have come to be known as Flora's 4 angels.
November the 21st, 2016 is the day I will never forget.
Gone.
I just couldn't imagine losing all 4 of my kids.
But certainly not forgotten.
We aren't going to let this die.
Chance Walser, RTV6.
Now to a closer look at the timeline of the Flora case. The investigation started 1 year ago today on November 21st.
So we checked this timeline again. We went over the timeline before. You see why I'm doing this today. We're going to be prepared tomorrow. I'm telling you, people.
2016. Initially, investigators did not have a cause. Then, in late January, state police ruled it arson. In June, after repeated media probes, investigators confirmed they were interviewing persons of interest, but they said they had no suspects. Then, earlier this month, the Carroll County prosecutor announced his resignation, followed by a similar announcement from Flora's fire chief.
Like, what the hell? Right? All these people are resigning just like that. As soon as questions are asked, then you're like, wait, what happened here? Why are you all resigning? Where are you all going? Yeah, then he resigned. Exactly, Sarah. Then he resigned. Does anyone know the home insurance the company used? I don't know the home insurance company used. Wow. It's quite something to see, huh? All of this. It's quite something. I just want to see. There was another clip I had where one of the chiefs, yeah, this one, said solid persons of interest. Oh my word. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, solid persons of interest. And then what happened?
It's a devastating fatal house fire in Flora. The home was engulfed in flames while a mother and her 4 daughters were still inside.
The mother was the only one to make it out alive. And News 18's Kiera Lake is live in Flora this morning. What can you tell us about this investigation, Kiera?
Sam and Trevor, this is the home behind me on East Columbia Street where that tragedy struck. Now, even though the mother, Galen Rose, chose to move outside of Flora after the fire, there are some family members that chose to stay behind and help Rose seek justice.
Possibly.
It's kind of, it's kind of just like be quiet, because we feel like our girls was left behind in a lot of situations.
This is why we will not be quiet. We will not be quiet, right?
1st, 2016, this home on East Columbia Street in Flora was engulfed in flames. Keone, Kiara, Carrielle, and Kiana didn't make it out of the home alive. Only their mother, Galen Rose.
It's tough for me to have to hear her cry all the time and not knowing what to say to ease the pain, because none of us will ever know the pain that she goes through.
They were Jacqueline Parlow's great niece.
Thank you, Tom, for your $10 super sticker for supporting the channel. Carroll County needs a complete reset of all governing officials and law enforcement. I think the NCAAP might be a stretch, but I think they are both connected in some capacity.
Nieces. She says this investigation is frustrating.
There's nothing we can do about it, you know. We're not detectives and everything, so we have to trust and believe that they're going to do the best that they can to help my nieces.
The Indiana State Fire Marshal's office ruled the fire was intentionally set. This announcement was followed by several officials involved in this ongoing investigation resigning. Now, Indiana State Police First Sergeant Jerry Holman says ISP is the lead investigative agency in this case.
But I think what the community wants.
Recognize him? Jerry Holman. He was in the room at the press conferences in the Delphi case. I know some of you are like, look at this guy. Sorry, I don't mean to giggle, but I just remember when we were all watching it, we all like the red flags were flying. Like, oh my word, Doug Carter. Oh my word, Tobe Leslie. Oh my word, this guy, Nicholas McClellan. And I agree, there's just a lot of red flags in these cases. And a lot of people talking as well, right? There's never just like one person. I know Doug Carter talks the most, but like there's always new people coming forward and talking about it. And it's all just very mysterious. And I just hope that we can just clear out some of that smoke and mirrors, whoosh, and just finally put the pressure on. Hello, answers. Hello, justice. I mean, seriously, this will not go away. That's what we need them to know. This is not going to go away. We're going to use our voices, okay? Our little voice boxes over here.
To know is, are we still actively pursuing the person responsible for this? And yes, we are.
He says ISP has 2 detectives assigned to this investigation full time.
And yes, we do have solid persons of interest in this case.
But he also believes there are people withholding information.
It's very frustrating for the family, very frustrating for the community of Flora, and very frustrating for us.
Holman says people need to overcome.
Interesting the priorities put it. The family, the community, and then also us. Yes, okay. The mother's suing. The mother better be suing. Yes. Be quiet before your house starts fire. OMG, they're afraid. And I mean, who can blame the mom for really leaving Flora? She went to California. A lot of people blame her like, oh my word, she is responsible. People have said she was responsible. She left. Okay, well, number 1, what would the benefit of that be? 2, what would the motive be? Why? 3, she shows authentic emotion. But also, wouldn't you want to get the hell out of there out of fear yourself if this happened to you? Man, I would. Damn, I got out of Africa, like literally left South Africa and moved to the Netherlands to get away from some traumatic things. But like, I can't imagine this. This is terrible, right? Okay, the mama's grieving, exactly.
Their fear.
And know that we will help them remain anonymous if they have information that will help us put the people behind bars that are responsible for this horrible crime.
There's more than $25,000 in reward money to help find the person responsible.
You know, I just pray that the person that did do it have a conscience, you know, and if they don't have a conscience, I hope it runs them crazy.
After the fire, she says she no longer comes to Flora often, even though people she loves are still there.
But at the same time, just to hang out, no. It's painful to stand right here. It's painful to see that thing that says my niece's name's on it where.
So this is the bench I want to show you as well. Wouldn't such as race is an issue in rural Indiana. I've seen it firsthand. I don't know if that was the motivation, but it may play into the lack of investigation. I'm white, but I've seen it. Well, yeah, they did say the state fire marshal, Dennis Randall, apparently threw the N-word around. This was, of course, in the 1920s, a predominant area for the KKK. So it sounds like a very racist area, to be honest. But you know what I find interesting? It's not really but also like almost like and, is the connection for me to the Flora case and the Delphi case. The timing, the dates, the times, and that the fact that, look at this bench. Keone Welch, 5. Carrie L. McDonald, 7. Kiara Phillips, 9. Kiana Davis, 11. Then Abigail Williams, 13. And Liberty German, 14. Okay, all listed, engraved on this, what is a stone concrete bench? Like, it's just interesting to me that they put them all together. I understand that it's Carroll County, and that's why. But, you know, from watching True Crime Design, I saw that, whoa, there were some other fires. There were some other fires in the area. This person who's responsible for, let's say, the Delphi murders could very well be a serial killer. I know we've speculated that before. I mean, who the hell else takes trophies, am I right? Who's taking trophies and staging crime scenes and things like that? And you just don't know if he's like kind of ticking off every type of modus operandi he can. Like, here, let's do some arson. And then over there, let's do some of who knows what he did exactly. But a cutting instrument, they said. And then what else? What else? You know? Linda, thank you so much for your $4.99 super sticker. And I just love your profile picture. Oh, my word. It's Fury's brother or sister from elsewhere, right? Nothing's changed. It's still the same. Mm-hmm.
We don't know what happened to him. It's painful to look at that house and say, they died there.
Mob Crew, that's so sweet. Thank you so much for your $5 super sticker. Oh, my word. Thank you. That's so sweet, you guys. I'm going to be on the Mob Crew's channel tomorrow after we do the stream here with Copfax and Real Gon Gonzo. It's going to be the Mob Crew's 1-year YouTube anniversary. Remember, he celebrated with me, and I'm going to be celebrating with him. I'm very excited, okay? But for now, we're first going to work our butts off, okay? Then we're going to party over there afterwards. But, like, whoa, this case really, it really makes me angry. All the way here in the Netherlands, it makes me angry. I want to go there. I'm telling you guys, I want to go to Delphi. I want to go to Indiana. I want to go to Delphi. I want to go to Monument High Bridge. I want to go to this Carroll County, the head offices, the headquarters, the fire department, to this house and everywhere. Oh, my word. Tom says, hey, Chris, hope you're well. Love both your channels, the best true crime coverage. If these are connected, I hope it helps bring both cases to a close. Yes. Even if they aren't.
That's some painful stuff. So coming through here is painful.
For the memorial.
Look at it. This is how the house stands. Bill says Israel Keys did arson and stabbing. That's the thing. Serial killers sometimes change up their MO, you know? And this one, I just have a feeling I had from the start that this one, if it's a potential serial killer, I might just think of, you know, like, let's tick a box for every type of MO. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's arson and some form of cutting instrument. So let's say stabbing or dismembering, decapitation, whatever it could be. And then maybe there's some strangling and there's some of this. You just don't know. You just don't know. Okay.
Perlo hopes at least a few people come out and remember the little girls. She's not hoping for a crowd, but would appreciate a turnout. But as for family and friends...
You know, we're going to be here regardless. I know I will. If I have to stand out here by myself and let those balloons go, I will stand out here by myself to support my...
Let's hope she never has to stand there by herself. Let's hope people support her and actually stand there as well.
Nieces. Because I know God has them. So if they watch it, they'll know my Aunt Jackie, she stuck to what she said.
From everything I've researched, Sarah, they all get autopsies. They botched that as well. They literally carry their bodies out from the scene and then put them on the floor, from what I've read, at the fire department. That's what I've read. So really just destroying evidence. Interesting. And then I believe, I don't want to get the name wrong, but I think this guy, Detective Yoder, who was 10 miles away, even though Officer Dissinger was 1.5 blocks from the house, he didn't respond first. Detective Yoder did. And when he got there, he ran into the house. Okay, so that was interesting. But the thing is, 10 miles away, ran into the house, tried to save the girls. Apparently, he had accelerant on him. Like, that's what I've read. And again, I think this was from, I can't remember where this from. Reddit. I've read so much now. Is it Reddit? Is it articles? I don't know. But he had like some evidence of an accelerant on him. But they don't know what it is and couldn't prove why he's got it on him. But like, who else the hell would have an accelerant on them? I'm just saying, it's just weird that the first person on the scene was 10 miles away, whereas there was a dude at the fire station 1.5 blocks from the house. Like, seriously? Yeah, there's no excuse for botching for autopsy. Did anyone lose jobs? Did they rescue anyone? Wow, they all just jumped ship, didn't they?
Well, anyone with information about this case is asked to call the arson hotline. The number is 1-800-382-4628, and calls can be made anonymously. Now, friends, family, the community is all invited tonight here at Pizza King on East.
Okay, so that already happened. Arson as well is part of the McDonald triad, which is indicators. It's a theory of young people that may potentially turn out to be serial killers. That's where I've heard of this McDonald triad, which would be arson, harming animals, and bedwetting. And sometimes they continue into adolescence and adulthood to commit arson. Very interesting, right? Why don't they know? It's part of their daily job. Shane Evans was able to get things he wanted after. That's what I'm saying as well, Ellie. You guys, if you want to just go to True Crime Design and watch the Shane Evans video. Oh my word. That got me. I already had a hunch, and then I watched that and I'm like, oh my word. Oh my word. And her production value of that was just absolutely brilliant. So even if you don't agree with the channel 100%, just watch the Shane Evans video. It's very interesting, okay? Sure. Oh my word. I'm just like, are you all fired up? Because I am. I'm fired up, everyone. Let's just quickly look at this one. See, we're doing homework for tomorrow. Are we happy we're doing it? So that tomorrow we're not all saying, what? What's happening? 5 years later, mama, 4 girls, and killed in Flora fire feels robbed as a mother. It's November 2021. But for one mother, November 2016 will forever be on her mind. This weekend marks 5 years since the fire that killed 4 sisters. Kiana Davis, 11. Kiara Phillips, 9. Carrie McDonald, 7. And Keone Welch, 5. In Flora, 1 hour north of Indianapolis in Carroll County. The girl's mother, Galen Rose, is asking for help to solve the November 21st, 2016 arson fire that killed her daughters as the family plans a memorial service. Some days I feel robbed as a mother, to be honest with you. Look, sorry. Here's the bug friend. Okay, bye, bug. Some days I feel robbed as a mother, to be honest with you. My motherhood was robbed from me, taking care of my children, so I manage it the best way I can. At 4 a.m. November 21st, 2016, firefighters were called to the 100 block of East Columbia Street where a 2-story home had gone up in flames. Kiara, Carrielle, and Keone were all killed in the fire. Their mother was injured trying to rescue them and was flown to the hospital with serious injuries. She was released several days later. Now, 2 officers, note these names, were also injured. Carroll County Sheriff's Office Deputy Drew Yoder, one of the first on the scene. I'm going to red flag it. Yeah, Shay needs a sub sticker. Oh, wait. Did they rescue anyone or just show up? These ones, they just showed up and he was 10 miles away instead of just a block and a half away. Interesting how the dude a block and a half away just kind of sat there and waited for Yoder to get there first, right? First on the scene, rushed into the home trying to rescue the girls. After multiple failed attempts, he was pulled out of the home by Flora police officer Josh Dissinger. Deputy Yoder suffered critical injuries and smoke inhalation and was flown to the hospital where he was hooked to a ventilator for several days. Officer Dissinger was treated and released. At the time, the cause of the fire could not be determined because of the extent of the damage to the home. The fire was believed to have started behind a fridge in the kitchen, and K9 units were brought in to search for possible accelerants, but none were found. Interesting. Tom, thank you again for your $5 super sticker. Have they got any suspects at all? Well, according to what we saw earlier, they're like, we've got 2 persons of interest, but nope, no suspects. Yeah, many show up after the crimes they commit and help. Exactly. Imagine being the hero that runs in first, and I'm not really trying to say it's this guy. I'm just saying it's the good guys, they make my red flags go, woo. Anyway, initially no foul play was suspected. Interesting. But Indiana State Police reclassified the fire as arson in January of 2017, saying it was intentionally set and that accelerants were found in multiple locations throughout the structure. So there, my question is, okay, so then why did you initially say with K9 units that there were no accelerants and there was no foul play? Or did you just change your mind three months later? Interesting. At that time, the Indiana Department of Homeland Security established a reward fund for information leading to an arrest in the case. Several months passed in early 2017 without any answers. Indiana State Police said in June 2017, after repeated inquiries from the media, that they were questioning persons of interest in the investigation but did not have any suspects in the case. So here you can see the 4 girls. Less than 2 weeks later, on June 23rd, 2017, Dennis Randall, the Indiana Department of Homeland Security fire investigator assigned to the Flora fire case, resigned after questions arose regarding the specific details of the arson ruling. Interesting. So as soon as they ask questions, he resigns and then just remains tight-lipped, right? Shane Evans was the former mayor of Carroll County, And Shane Evans then, by the way, he was part of the search party in the Delphi case. I find that weird. The minutes to his meeting on that day are nowhere to be found. Red flag number 2. And he was very interested in getting investors to have a cash injection into the Monon High Bridge to make it a wonderful tourist facility. Number 3. 4, you should look how he walks and how he talks. Interesting. Don't get me started on Shane Evans. But then after, I mean, he was fresh out of college and with a friend's help, which I think was Nicholas McClellan, he suddenly became the mayor. I think he was like 25 years old. Like, what in the hell? And then, you know what? He only served for, I must do my research again, but a few months, 8 months or something, 18 months, can't remember. It wasn't long. And then he stepped down because he got a new offer to be the deputy prosecutor. So can you imagine if someone like Shane is in any way involved in any of these things that are going on in this county? Do you know how hard it will be to prove it now that he's the deputy prosecutor? Whoa. Like, dudes, never mind that he was the mayor at the time and was part of the search party in Delphi. But the fact that he's now the deputy prosecutor, wow. Okay, so to continue with this article, they say the same day. So you see Dennis Randall, okay, step down. Dennis Randall has been friends with Tobe Lesenby, the sheriff of Carroll County, for 30 years. Just keep that all in mind. This is a tangled web. Rob, thank you for your $10 super sticker. Thank you for your hard work on this case. Thank you, Rob. Making himself more untouchable. I know, right? Like, but seriously, imagine being the deputy prosecutor. He is making himself more untouchable. Okay, so they say the same day, arson investigators amended their findings, saying that accelerants were only found in one room of the home. Okay, so first, no foul play, no accelerants. 3 months later, no, there were accelerants all over the place. And then the same day, arson investigators amended their findings, saying accelerants were only found in one room of the home, but then they retained the arson classification. Wow. On October 26, 2017, the NAACP joined the family of Flora fire victims at a press conference to announce that they would also be joining the investigation. The NAACP is just getting involved, but based on information we have, it appears the investigation has been bungled in some kind of way. Barbara Bowling, member of the NAACP National Board of Directors, said that morning, there are people out there who know, and it smells. I know we're just getting started here, but it smells of a cover-up. Indiana State Police held a press conference later that day to address the NAACP's comments and concerns. Even the notion, this is what Doug Carter said, that there would be even the notion that there would be even the perception of a cover-up in regard to an investigation involving our little girls is not only unsubstantiated, but strikes me at the core of who I am and the agency I represent. ISP, Superintendent Doug Carter, told the media at the time, I'd give my life to find out who killed those little girls. On November 11, 2017, nearly a year after the deadly fire, Carroll County Prosecutor Robert Ives announced that he would be stepping down from his position at the end of the year, leaving one of Carroll County's biggest cases unsolved. Days later, on November 14th, Flora Fire Chief Adam Randall resigned from his position. Adam Randall, the son. Wait, was it the son or nephew? Of Dennis Randall. You see that? You see that? All these links. In December 2017, Indiana State Police requested a peer review of the investigation from the Indianapolis Fire Department. The peer review by IFD examined witness reports of people present at the time of the fire, including firefighters, police, and witnesses. Members of an IFD fire investigation section also conducted a physical examination of the scene in Flora. They released their findings on January 31st, 2018, confirming that the fire was intentionally set. A $5,000 reward is still being offered for any information in connection with the deadly incident. Anyone with information regarding the case should call 1-800-382-4628. Callers may remain anonymous. More information about the victims and the reward is available at this link. Wow, guys, wow. Let's see if this takes us to the press conference. The sound on the last one I had wasn't so great. Let's see this. Hello. Can we play it? Oh, but it's not the whole thing. And there's going to be an advert. Damn it. Okay. Thank you. Get him. Smell the cover-ups and corruption from here. I know, right? I'd give my life to find out who killed these little girls. I actually want to, let me just take this off. I've got a clip from somewhere here. Stand by. It's this one. This one talking about his sticky notes. Oh, my word. The sound on this clip isn't the best, but I'll show it to you. Tag them both. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, any firefighters want to snitch, you can call the number 2.
Tell me what to do. You ready? Okay. Well, I'm going to start by telling you all thank you for being here and giving me a chance.
Turn your volume up to the max. Put on your earphones if you need to. It's very dramatic.
I've had the distinct pleasure of speaking with almost all of you at some point in my career. But I don't think anything's bothered me more than what's occurred in Carroll County, Indiana, in my entire lifetime. And even the notion that there would be even a perception of a cover-up in regards to an investigation involving 4 little girls is not only unsubstantiated, but, ladies and gentlemen, it strikes me at the very core of who I am and the agency that I represent. I'd give my life to find out who killed those little girls.
Yes, Tom. Literally, I just told you guys the audio is low. It is low, so please turn it up as much as possible. It's the quality of what they uploaded on this channel, unfortunately, which is literally the official. I don't know if that was on purpose or what, but like it's terrible. And I actually, in the clip that I put in my trailer from this, you know what I did was try to boost the sound as much as possible, and it was still really, really quiet. So I just want to show you when he shows his little sticky note here.
Girls. And with specific comments made, such as no answers to the family, what happened, no one's been brought to justice. I hope that one day we can tell you what we know.
Pigeon Mac.
And I hope one day I can look into the eyes of the person that killed 4 little girls and then explain to you what we knew and when. But criticize me all you want to.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it today. For a number of reasons that all of you know because you've all been around a long time. I've not heard from anybody from the NAACP concerning this case. I've not had an opportunity to talk with them, nor have our investigators or anybody from the ISP. I didn't create the sticky note today. The sticky note is of those 4 little girls, to include Abby and Libby, and Connie, and Carrielle, and Kiera, and Kiana. Sticky note's been on my desk for months, close to a year now. I have the exact same one at home. It's the last thing I see every single day.
It's weird. I have a sticky note, everyone. I'm sorry to judge him. It's just like literally a sticky note, Pigeon Mac. A sticky note. Like, imagine just being like, listen, people, you see the sticky note here? I have it. Okay, I have a sticky note. One would hope Superintendent Dakota has more than a sticky note to remind him of these cases.
The Carroll County residents have endured something that very few of us will ever be able to comprehend or understand. It's the first time, at least in my career, that we've had a storefront that's housed an investigation for anything. It's housing 2 very critical investigations, probably 2 of the most critical investigations in Indiana likely in our history. We will stay in Delphi, as I told you many months ago, until I'm no longer the superintendent or not breathing, whichever comes first. This is so very complicated, and even the inference that it's about race is so very wrong. It's never mattered to me, it never will.
Apparently only this one. Let's watch some movies. He only has the sticky note, okay?
The notion that we will not do everything within our power, within right and left limits of what we can do legally, morally, and ethically is just simply wrong. I encourage the partnership with the folks that are here in Indianapolis right now, with the NAACP. They have ideas, suggestions, things that we could do that we haven't, things we can do to additionally push this message, push the awareness of what happened in Flora back in November of 2016. But when I wonder what's most wrong with society, it comes to mind that we just jump out in front of things that we don't understand, and we say things to draw something. And that's what I'm having a really hard time understanding. That's why I thought it was important that I came out to all of you today.
Mm. Yes.
Anytime we're talking about this case is a good day. So for that, I say thank you to the folks that brought this out today.
Oh, it's our pleasure, and we're still talking about it.
During the news conference that occurred earlier. I encourage the dialogue. I encourage their opinions.
Okay.
I encourage them perpetuating a model of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody out there knows.
It's a salesman.
Who did that to those 4 little girls. I cannot allow this issue to smolder for a number of reasons, and I think all of you understand why.
Way off.
I cannot allow a false narrative to be perpetuated into the culture of who we are as a people. I can't allow that to happen. Are we perfect? No, we're not perfect. We've had some bad days, but I committed to you a long time ago that when we have those days, I'll step up and step out, take responsibility for them, and I know that I'll have to do it one day again.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not today. I'm not today. The people that have been involved in this case from the very beginning, it's changed them, it's altered them, it's probably even hurt them. So this is very personal to me, and it will always be personal to me. And for this to happen, again, in such a rural community in Indiana, tells a lot about who we are. And I think that's why it's so personal. But I'm going to close by saying to you, it's the last thing I think of at the end of the day, along with the agency that I represent, people out there doing incredibly dangerous work. But I hope I get through the night without that call. And then the first thing I think of in the morning is I didn't get that call. I get another day, and maybe today is the day for this. Any notion that we don't care hurts me deeply. Any questions?
Wow. His old sticky note looks pretty new. Right, Tom? Thank you for your super sticker. Oh, my word. The questions are even quieter.
Is the reason why the family feels like there hasn't been more communication
Yes.
members of the family is being looked at in this case? We just got information within the last 24 hours that at least one person in the family, their workplace was visited by an investigator.
Messenger boy.
We talked about this before.
Look at the demeanor change all of a sudden.
In my very office, we talked about this. And everybody's a suspect until they're not. Wouldn't you expect us to do that? So it's not an elephant in the room at all. I'm not going to tell you what we know about what we know, or about what we know about who, but I will tell you that.
Oh my word. I'm not going to tell you about what we know, or about who we know that thing about, okay?
We will do everything within our power to talk to anybody that we can. They might be friends, neighbors, family members, or coworkers of family members, but I think that's what you would expect.
He said all co-workers and then corrected himself and said all family members. Did you see that?
What else?
This isn't just the NAACP that we've heard this from. I've been up in Flora. I've talked to community members who have also had concerns that the speed of the initial investigation was hampered by possibly some bias or prejudice. But you're saying that is not the case?
We weren't there. We've talked about what happened early on in the Flora case. It wasn't our best day. We talked about that. Again, I'll jump on the sword.
He said he'll jump on the sword and then the mic fell on the floor, which was an interesting moment. But like, we were not there that day, okay?
I'm not sure. Let's do this right. But
Mm-hmm.
I wish that we would take the rearview mirror down.
The rearview mirror down.
And I think if I asked any one of you if you had a redo or a do-over, you'd probably say yes. We have to deal with what we have today.
And what do you have?
And I certainly acknowledge. Now, Sometimes frustration, particularly today, has to do with the lack of information because we get information so readily, almost anywhere we wanted about almost anything.
Okay.
But like I told you earlier, I'm not going to tell you what we know.
It's like his standard line. I'm just not going to tell you what we know. We don't know what we know, what you know, what we know, and what they know about who we know. But we know.
That creates criticism sometimes. And I really ask that rather than that criticism go to the
There
guys and the
is.
gals that are doing this and have lived every single minute of their life since this happened. Be mad at me. Don't be mad at people that
Be mad at me. Okay. Tom says he thinks he's going to skate around releasing information on this one. NAACP will squeeze him out of his cat and mouse stuff that keeps him relevant. Thank you again for your super sticker. Yes.
trying to do the job.
Mm.
While you are working leads, is there going to be any sort of communication with any of the family moving forward? I think that has been the number one criticism from them is that we understand you've got leads that you can't talk about, perhaps, but can you at least give us a phone call, let us know, you're working on this, this is important to you. We've talked about you calling, the mother of the victims before, and as far as I know from her, that hasn't happened. Is there going to be?
It would be my hope so.
Oh, my word. Well, Chris, we know what you wish we knew. We know what you wish we knew. Mm-hmm.
Hope that there is. I got out in front of myself a bit there. Again, I got out in front of myself a bit there, and it was recommended to me that I not reach out to the family. It's difficult for me to not do.
Interesting.
It was just recommended that I did not talk to the family because it wasn't a part of the day-to-day operation of the investigation.
Interesting.
I understood that.
Very. Oh, my word. It's such a red flag still in my mind. I can't help it. But I'm they're like, don't you contact the family now. Okay. He's like, okay. Look at his face here. All right. I won't do that.
Has this case, in their words, been as evidence and circumstances been compromised to the point that it's hurting the investigation, or is physical evidence the conclusions of forensic investigators still valid?
Yeah, I don't believe it's hurt it, David. I think that it's delayed it. So we've got a bit of a delay here, but we have tremendous federal partners, and we'll continue to utilize those resources and those assets of both our local, state, and federal partners, and that's what you should expect. And that's what we're doing. What the timeline is, I can't say, nor would I if I knew.
What the timeline is, I can't say, nor would I if I knew. Wooden Star says, to be fair, there is a lot you can't say to keep the integrity of the investigation and the trial when it happens. And I believe with all the attention, we will see a trial. I truly hope we'll see a trial, a thriller. The problem is, the reason I think he may be and maybe not so sketchy is imagine if, speculatively, for a second, someone like the deputy prosecutor who used to be the mayor is responsible for these types of things. Imagine what they're dealing with there. Like, how on earth will they then go to trial and prove that it was him if he's the deputy prosecutor? Do you see what I'm saying? Because they always say, especially the Delphi case, what will the community think of you? That cannot just be anyone, you know?
Does it disappoint you that we're at almost near the 1-year mark and we still, really haven't heard of any sort of leads or anything that would make us assume that we're at one step closer? Are we one step closer to finding a killer?
Death, dying, destruction, hurt, pain, and sorrow happens every day in our state, and I see it almost every single day. You can't just go on from this one to the next one. So I'm as frustrated as anybody is. I hope that one day that I can look into the eyes of at least 2 killers from a very
Interesting. Very interesting.
small community in Indiana. So of course I'm frustrated. But I'm not mad. I'm incredibly blessed to be able to represent so many incredible people and to see and shake hands with so many incredible citizens that support what we do. I am not going to pay attention to the very few number of people that don't and that choose to criticize what we're trying to do and why, because I can't make them happy. I just simply can't. But my commitment is that we will not rest. We will not rest until this is done.
Until this is done.
I really, again,
I'm sorry, the language is weird. Instead of until this is solved, until the girls get justice, until this is done.
close and thank you all. see so many partners out there, and I really appreciate the time that you've taken to come and see me. And I hope that this helps. I hope it helps.
It doesn't help. And then off he goes. This guy.
Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.
And I'm sorry, okay? I've done it on, maybe I won't be sorry one day, I don't know. But when he's like, I hope it helps. Hope it helps. Oh, gone. Remember in the Delphi case, the day that they brought out the new sketch? It's like he's like, and we'll be presenting a new sketch. And then he ran out the room, like him and Tobe Lesenby. What the hell? Where are you guys going? Why do you run off like that? What do you do? Oh, my word. I'm sorry, but it's just the Flora case and the Delphi case are extremely frustrating to cover, to understand, to watch, to observe. And I understand it's like small towns, rural communities, but like, oh, man. Oh, man. Which video did you go over, Shane Evans? The one on true crime design. I would go check that out first before we have that conversation, right? Have an interest, I could do a little statement analysis. Ooh, interesting. That's always interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's whacked. That was whacked. Yoder is quite suspicious, huh? Detective Yoder. First one on the scene. Very interesting. And there was something else that someone said I don't want to miss earlier. I'm almost done for now. I mean, we could sit here all night. Honestly, I could look at this case for hours and hours and hours. But I'm very glad that we had this time together now so that we could actually just do our homework for tomorrow. I would love for you guys, please come back tomorrow because that's the impact time. That's when Cop Facts and the Real Gone Gonzo, I'm so honored to have them on my show, are going to be here with us and really give us some of the deets, of like, okay, and what should we do to continue to put this case, or at least now let's put it into the media spotlight. Let's put the pressure on a little bit. We've done it quite a bit before, hey. The Grizzlies are very good at putting the pressure on. Sarah says, I'm feeling what you're feeling. Oh, yeah. Okay, I put the other comment up before. They said some of the things in the Beltway sniper. Oh, the police had no clue. Okay, wow. Imagine working in his department. No, thank you. Right? So what are you guys thinking about all this? I can't even imagine what are we thinking, guys? So let's look at this clip quickly of how the police chief stepped down.
Fire Chief Adam Randall has resigned.
Turn down your volume now. Holy moly, the sound is better. Are you ready?
Call 6 has learned he stepped down from his post as one of the biggest fatal fire investigations in our state tonight.
Why did he just suddenly step down? Woodland Star, thank you so much for your $20 super sticker. I really, really appreciate the support.
Remains unsolved. Randall's volunteer fire department in Carroll County responded to the tragedy on East Columbia Street a year ago next Tuesday. The November 21st fire killed 4 sisters ages 5 to 11. The fire remains under investigation, which early on experienced some problems. Right. In fact, in June, Adam's father, Dennis, who you see right there, resigned from his post as the lead state fire investigator on this case. Adam Randall has issued no public statement tonight on his resignation, as some officials in Carroll County were made aware of his decision tonight via email. And per the town website, Randall has served as fire chief since the year 2014.
Red flag that this is a volunteer fire department. I'm just saying. So interesting that the volunteer Detective Yoder was there on scene. Detective Yoder as well, before the fire department was there. And the fire department, I believe, is a block and a half away. He was there, going in and out of the house, trying to rescue people. Wait, what? Okay, interesting. Unleashing the Grizzly, right, Greg?
Tonight, I had a chance to reach out to the family of the girls. I was told there'd be no comment right now. And just a few minutes ago, state police telling me the departures of the Flora fire chief and the Carroll County prosecutor will have no impact on their ongoing investigation. Right. And tonight, we're getting a new look inside this, a cookbook, a new effort, a reward to encourage people to provide any information connected to the Flora fire. The book, entitled The Art of Cooking, Flora's 4 Angels, includes recipes of the foods the little girls liked, as well as recipes from members of that community. The cookbook is selling for about $10 at local stores in both Flora and Delphi. If money from this reward fund goes uncollected, The money will be given to the Flora Fire Department to fund fire prevention programs as well as training. And tonight, we're also getting some new information now into the newsroom. We're learning that there will be a vigil in Flora next Tuesday, Erica, at 6 p.m. in memory of the girls.
Okay, so there's been vigils and things, but you could see the money from the cookbook. They said it'll be donated towards the fire department, the volunteer one. But then imagine raising $20,000 as a community to help boost that reward fund. And I believe there was some kind of clause there that, you know, it would last 5 years or something. We'll look at that tomorrow. But the thing is, there's still so much more to uncover. I could tell you that, like I'm telling you, deep dive. Go to True Crime Investigates, True Crime Design, and all these channels. Kristen, Behind the Crime Door. Whoa, like, and anything you can find on Flora. It's so interesting to start uncovering who's who and how are they connected and how are they friends and how are they family and wait, what? But imagine the $20,000 the community raised towards boosting the reward fund to help inspire people to maybe come forward and talk. Just dished out to the volunteer fire department. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time, going live, 5 p.m. Eastern, same time as today. Yeah, reward fund's gone. Yes. They're going to hear about this, and I think they'll realize very soon, everyone's going to know who they are, what they've been doing. They're weak people. They should be afraid. They really should be, right? That's the thing. I want to make sure that I use my platform correctly for very important things like this, okay? These cases hit me deep, and I'm South African living in the Netherlands. But you see, the thing is, my biological father was a police officer in these rural, small town communities. I know all about it. I suffered through it. I saw it, okay? And the thing is, ooh, it bugs me to no end. It's really like literally a trigger point for me. I just cannot. It cannot be that in 2022, we allow those little groupies. What do we call them? It's kind of like the boys club, or in the pilot world, it was the royal club, you know, the blue bloods. The little groups, the cliques, to actually get away with their safety in numbers. We've got to like unravel all that and just look at all of it and be like, what is actually going on here? If you apply pressure, the weakest link's gonna crack, okay? We don't know who the weakest link is, but they're gonna crack. Someone's gonna talk. So let's apply the pressure. So I will be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. I just quickly want to see one more thing just to preempt tomorrow. The number that we want to put on the screen that Perry Freeman has asked. Stand by. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to just copy this. This is who we want to contact if you feel like doing it already or just writing this down before tomorrow, okay? I'm going to create a banner for you. There we go. This is the goal, because they are very good at picking up stories like this and getting the mainstream media going. Okay, so Fox 59 News at fox59.com, or you can call 317-632-5900. Yeah, the cockpit. You don't want to hear the jokes about the female version of that. Don't want to hear that. Writing it down. Thank you. Everyone write this down. Maybe you got a Grizzly notebook. Maybe you got a piece of paper. Maybe you got a sticky note. How about we sticky note this right here? And then make sure that we start firing up some mainstream media. We start stoking that fire that's kind of sort of dying out a little bit. Just keep it going, huh? Blow some oxygen into that fire, okay? And I'm not actually, that's actually a terrible thing to say because this is an arson case, but you know what I mean. Let's get our Grizzly mains going. Let's make a dent. Yes, Post-its. Where's Brian Enton? Ask him on Twitter. Ask him. And please, if you could please like this episode, share this episode, hashtag Flora4, hashtag Flora Fire, hashtag Flora Girls, hashtag Delphi. Put those all together. Share it, put the hashtags there. Let's make a little bit of a fuss, okay? If a former police chief, Copfax, Perry Freeman, who I respect greatly, you know, brings this stuff to my attention, oh, I'm all ears. I'm listening, and we have to do something. What color Post-it note? Does it have to be blue like that? Yes, it has to be. No. Yeah, Brian needs to be cloned. It would be me, guys. I want to be there. In America. I'll be the female Brian Enton, okay? Gisela K. Outside the house here. Can you picture me with my microphone? Hello. Reporting live from blah, 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 right? Yeah, Perry knows his stuff. So please go support his episode as well. I did show it to you guys. It's also linked for you. So again, one more time. Have you got them all? They all are in my description box, okay? So here we go. Cop Facts is the channel name. Cop Facts, Faxx, okay? And you can look at this episode right here. I would actually copy this, and I'm just going to put it in the chat for you as well. So you can go check this immediately. Then, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to go live here with Cop Facts and the Real Gone Gonzo, okay? Very excited to have them on the show. After the show, it won't be a long show tomorrow. It's going to be powerful, impactful. Now you know all the stuff. Now you've got all the homework. Replay watchers, congratulations. Thank you for watching this and doing your homework. Then, after the show tomorrow, I'm going to be on the Mob Crew show, celebrating his 1-year YouTube anniversary. Okay, the way that he did here on my channel as well. So I'll be looking forward to that. We'll be discussing how our YouTube journey started. This is waffle time, by the way. Use your waffle stickers now. We'll be discussing how we started on YouTube, how it's been going. We'll maybe discussing the Dylan Rounds case a little bit. Can you email me the shady video? The shady video, you mean the press one? The press one? The one I just played of Doug Carter, right? Writes 5 p.m. on my sticky note. Good job, Deirdre. Instead of sticky notes, make sure you... I should design sticky notes now. No. Make sure you get yourself a Grizzly notebook. I'm going to design a new one soon again, but I've got a whole range. I think there's about 8 of them available. 8 designs. This is my favorite one, actually. Yes, I do make a lot of notes in here. I did see that tomorrow I'm looking now at this D. Warner information I wrote here. I covered the case of D. Warner. Wow, that case needs a lot of attention too. And tomorrow the interview room is actually continuing to talk about it with new information. So very excited to see that as well. Love waffles. Love waffles. Yes. Waffle, waffle, everyone. Okay. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking through. I mean, there's mostly 400-ish of you stayed here the whole time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, mods. Oh, my word. You guys are the best. I know we work hard in these streets. As Pascal says, we're working hard in these streets, okay? So tomorrow, live. Monday, live as well. On Monday, I'm going to have Brian Vladik Hazel's family on the show. Bethany's joining us to talk about that case as well. Her missing brother, Brian, who goes by Vlad as well. They're going to be on the show on Monday. So please come and join us for that as well. That's another honor to have them on the show to directly talk to the family and learn more information about the case and continue to spread awareness. Can we get old sticky notes, please? Thanks. Can we get old sticky notes? Tom, old sticky notes? Oh, man. Thank you so much, Rochelle Pronzo. Thank you, mods. 11 o'clock in Europe tomorrow. Yes, that's when I normally start on Sundays and Mondays. Right now, it's 12 in the morning for me. Yes. Is she posting videos from prison? Who? Posting videos from prison. Who? Okay. Sticky waffle notes. I hope you guys all enjoy the new emojis I made for you. And if you are a member and you missed out on yesterday's glorious cycle into Utrecht City, please go check that out on the community tab. There's a link there for you. Patrons, I know some of you with Apple devices are having an issue maybe seeing the video. I'll be sure to upload it if I can as a video for you to just rewatch. All right. And I'll be doing another cycle to the city soon again, maybe even our next VIP party, which is for all YouTube members and patrons, will be next weekend. Maybe I'll go to the city again. Huh? We had a lot of fun yesterday. If you want to see a preview of what I'm talking about, go to my second channel, Grizzly Antidote. I finished up the cycle on that channel so that you can have a preview, okay? Yes, Jane, you missed the whole damn thing, but I hope you'll watch. I hope you'll be part of the replay crew. Yes, cycle. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. Stay safe, stay snarky, be mindful of those red flags, and let's be sure to knock down any towers of corruption, okay?